Hello, hello. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody doing good? Staying warm? Staying out of this nasty wind? You might be able to hear it in the background. It's creaking and roaring, making the library come alive. How's everyone's night going? Everybody doing good? Burr. Everyone enjoying this fabulous Friday? Huh? That's the face that froggy lizard thing's making. Maybe not quite. That's more of a type face, but who am I? So we'll wait until around 7:05. Hi there, C.H. Hackett. Good to see you tuning in. Ready for a Friday night story. Staying warm. You and the wife. Good. Glad to hear it. Good. Good. So while we're waiting, like usual, if you want to be a part of the story, type !pick me. We'll get everyone entered in while we're waiting for people to tune in. And we'll get going. I think we're only... how many characters do we want to do tonight? I think we'll just do 2 characters tonight. 2. I've decided that I'm going to do another animal thing tonight, I think. I like the animal ones. I like animals. So I'm going to probably do a lot of stories about animals. Bring some attention to some animals that are pretty neat, like the echidna or the giant golden crowned flying fox bat. Maybe I'll do a different megabat one of these times. There's other megabats, you know. Wingspans like that. Big old bats. I'm pretty sure, surprisingly, all of the big megabats are fruit eaters. You think a big old bat like that would like to eat something like a bird, but they don't. See them flying through the air. Sonar. Bird. That's not how it works, though. We'll wait another minute and then we'll get started. If people tune in any later than that, they'll just miss out on the character picking part. Their loss. Their loss. All right. we're going to get started because I stick to a schedule. So I'm going to roll. C.H. Hackett. Look at that. You won. I need a name for a female character. Woohoo! Yeah! Name for female from you, please. Tamara. Tamara or Tamara? One or two? Thinking Tamara. Tamara. Okay. I can do that. And then, if there's anyone else that just tuned in, type exclamation mark, pick me really quick. Do it. Do it now. Quick. Quick. Do it. Alright, your loss. Continuing on. Roll again. Breedub! You won too. I need another female character. 2 female characters tonight. Yay! I think that the 2 people who get the most excited are the ones who won. That's exciting news. Tamara and Well, that's an interesting name. Oh, that's not what you meant? You didn't mean Oh, duh. No? Tweedledee and Tweedledum? Hattie? Hattie. Hattie and Tamara. Hattie and Tamara. Okay. We can roll with that. I like it. So, I guess we'll just get right into the story. I don't know. We're going to roll with it. See what happens. Like I said, tonight's going to be another one about animals. So everybody's going to miss out if they're not here. Today, we travel across the ocean once again. This time, to the continent of Asia. Not Australia, not the Philippine Islands, but Asia. Specifically, to the exotic land of Thailand. Now, the people of Thailand once revered what were considered beasts of great wisdom and majesty, and many still revere them. They think they're sacred. Of course, I'm speaking of the mighty Asian elephant. They even went so far as to make the Asian elephant their national animal. That's right. National animal of Thailand is the Asian elephant. Now, weighing in at around 11,000 pounds when they're fully grown, and standing an astounding 11.5 feet tall. They are truly a magnificent sight to take in. Unfortunately, there are only an estimated 2,000 to 3,000 Asian elephants left in Thailand, with less than 50,000 in the entirety of the world. Now, that's a crazy number. At the turn of the 20th century, there was over 100,000. That quick of a decline, that quick for an animal that lives 70 years in the wild is pretty crazy. They don't really have any natural predators aside from tigers. So, pretty much the only people responsible for the decline in population of elephants is us. Unfortunately, like all other elephants, Asian elephants have fallen victim to poachers who hunt and kill them for their ivory tusks, thick hides, and large amounts of meat. In Thailand today, though, there are many preserves that have been set up to help protect Asian elephants. And, yeah. Most of the preserves are pretty good. They're there truly just to do it to save these majestic animals. But unfortunately, Some of the preserves are not there just to protect the elephants. They instead use them as a tourist attraction. They know that people who come to Thailand want to see elephants, so they confine them to smaller areas than they should be. And the elephants there a lot of times are mistreated. Thankfully, there are a lot of people out there who are working hard to put an end to things like that. So hopefully we'll see a huge decline in practices like that. But anyhow, let's get into our story. Asian elephants in the wild are very sociable creatures, and they tend to live in groups of 6 to 7 females, adult females. These groups, known as herds or parades, are often led by the oldest female, the matriarch. So it's a matriarchal, female-run little group. Generally, these females that stick together will spend most of their lives together, helping one another with everything from raising each other children to eating when they get sick, everything. Elephants have been known to go to great extents to help other elephants. It's really cool, actually, and they're really intelligent. An elephant never forgets. Anyhow, so it is within one of these groups that we find Tamara, the child of Hattie, who happens to be the matriarch of this particular parade of elephants. Tamara is the oldest of the calves currently in the herd. She's 12 years old and a couple years older than any of the other calves. But despite being the eldest calf, she is considerably smaller than the others. She's hit a bit of a growth spurt cutoff. She's not growing as fast as she should be. And this difference in size of the smaller elephants has been the problem in her life as of late. You see, whenever the younger elephants and the adults separate to go in different places, the adults need a break, just like anyone else would need a break from kids. She gets picked on by the other elephants, the younger elephants, about her size. They push her around. They're not nice. Now, Tamara could have easily told on them, ran to the adults, and gotten them in trouble. But she was far too proud for that. One day, she would be the eldest, the matriarch, and because of that, she was determined to gain their respect on her own, without the adults being involved. Today, the adult elephants were heading to the big watering hole to take baths, drink, and relax. Get some time apart from the rambunctious young children that they couldn't keep up with. Now, there was a smaller watering hole just on the other side of the field. It was relatively safe, so that is where the young ones would go. As they were getting ready to part ways, Tamara nuzzled Hattie, her mother, the matriarch, as she always did before they left each other for any amount of time. Very affectionate creatures, elephants. And her mother returned the nuzzle and said, "Enjoy yourself at the watering hole today, and as always, be safe. If trouble should arise, the others will look to you for direction. You are the eldest of them." Tamara nodded to her mother, despite knowing that this was not the case. With their goodbye said, the adults and younger elephants parted ways. When Tamara arrived at the watering hole, she lumbered down to the cool water and took a big drink. As she took her drink, a giant pile of mud splattered against her back. Now, on a hot day, elephants will often put mud on themselves to cool down and keep bugs away. But today was not that hot, and she didn't want mud on her. And clearly, one of the other elephants had thrown it at her, because they were all snickering among themselves. Tamara used her trunk to suck up some water and wash off her back, and continued to try and enjoy the cool water. But then another pile of mud hit her back. Boy, what do you guys think? Should she throw mud back, or should she kind of ignore it? Just brush it off? I don't know. Click on the link. The link will bring you through to a poll. You can vote on the poll, and once the votes are in, I will continue with the story in the direction that you guys want me to head. Alright. It looks like she is going to be confrontational. She's going to throw a mud back. Really? You guys think that's a good idea? You don't think she should take the higher ground? Come on. Alright. You voted. We'll do it your way. We'll do it your way. Alright. Tamara was fed up with this behavior of theirs. If you can dish it, you can take it. I guess. Tamara was fed up with their behavior. She cleaned off her back with her trunk again and then gathered up a big pile of mud and returned fire. Her aim was true, and the pile of mud struck one of the other calves square in the face. They looked surprised that she had retaliated. She smirked and turned to continue bathing herself. A few seconds later, all 4 of the other elephants gathered up mud and at the same time hit her with 4 piles of mud. She turned and started to gather up a particularly messy mud ball to throw back at them. But as she prepared to throw it, she saw something move behind the younger calves. Her instincts kicked in, and she yelled out, "Run! Tiger! Tiger! Oh my God, it's a tiger!" Ooh, wind. The other elephants' heads snapped up from the water, and they took off. A stampede. Tamara started to run as well, but in the direction of the tiger. She bellowed with her trunk and flared her ears to make herself seem as large as she could. The tiger was clearly impressed by her act of bravery and scared, and it turned and ran the other direction with its tail between its legs. Shaking from the adrenaline, Tamara turned around and looked for her herd. But she didn't see them. She walked over to where they had exited the water and followed the path that they had trampled through the field. They were heading the wrong direction. They had not headed towards the other watering hole and the adults. What were they thinking? Tamara decided she had better try to catch up to them and get them heading back in the right direction. She was the oldest. It was her job. Before they got lost. She took off at a fast trot, following the path of running elephants. It turns out is actually pretty easy. They leave a lot of sign behind. So it didn't take her long to catch up to them. She approached them quickly and said, "You need to turn around. The watering hole isn't this way." One of the younger elephants turned and flared his ears and said, "What do you know, small fry? The tiger's back that way." Tamara replied, "I scared the tiger off. But even if I hadn't, we would still want to go back to the rest of the herd. They can protect us." The other 4 elephants snickered when she said she scared the tiger and rolled their eyes. How on earth could someone as small as you scare a tiger? No, we're not going back that way. We know a different way to the watering hole. We're going to go around this, through the field, and over this way. And we're going to get there our way without going back towards the tiger. Well, la-ti-da. What do you guys think? Should she go with them or go her own way? Go ahead and click on the link. That'll bring you through to a poll. Vote on the poll. When the votes are in, you know the deal. I'll go your way with the story. In the meantime, while we're waiting for you guys to vote, I just want to say thank you to L-E-K, Rensta, for the follow. I appreciate it. Did we get our votes in? You guys think that she should go with them. So even though they're being jerks, you still think that she should go with them. First, you think she should throw mud back, which is confrontational, and now you think she should go with them. All right. Your choice. Tamara decided the smartest move was to stay with the others and try to steer them in the right direction. There was safety in numbers, after all. They began to walk, but it was in the wrong direction. She tried to tell them, and they just wouldn't listen. Alarm bells were ringing in Tamara's head. She had seen this land before, this place. She knew she had. And an elephant never forgets. She knew she had seen it. And as they walked and she tried to tell them to turn around, she kept thinking about it. And then, it came to her. At last, she remembered why this place looked familiar. She had been here with her mother when she was just a few months old. And she remembered her mother saying, "This is a dangerous place, Tamara. Humans set traps here in hopes of catching us, to contain us within walls and use us as attractions." Just as the memory flooded back into her head, she heard the snap of the line and saw the massive tree wall slam shut behind them. Dun, dun, dun! They had wandered right into a trap. There were high walls built that had looked like brush. They were hidden under these different brushes and trees. And behind them, where the tree had slammed down, it was a massive door made out of trees. It was heavy, with rocks and everything else on it. Each of the larger, younger elephants took turns trying to move the door and push the walls over, but to no avail. It was a well-built trap. Tamara looked around, desperate for a way out. And then she saw it. A small opening. She pointed to it and said, "Look, we can get out through that." The other elephants followed where her trunk was pointing and then shook their heads. And she realized that they were all too big to fit. She was the only one that could get through. She wanted to calm the younger elephants, so she said, "Don't worry. I will squeeze through. I'll get to the rest of the herd and bring them back. Together, we can destroy this trap and get you out of here." And that's exactly what she did. She squeezed through the hole and ran full speed. An elephant running full speed is a scary thing, by the way. The ground shakes. Even an elephant as small as her. She ran full speed back, the right direction, the direction she'd been telling them to go, toward the big watering hole. She sped into the opening and relayed the information to the rest of her herd, and they instantly sprang into action. They followed her to the trap location, and together they dismantled the entire thing, piece by piece, trampling each bit as they went to assure that it would never be usable again. Once all the elephants were back together and home safe, home being wherever they ended up, because they just kind of wander. I don't think they really have a home, per se. Home is together. Hattie, the matriarch, called a meeting. All of the elephants gathered together, and she called forward Tamara. And she said, "Today, we were lucky, but the situation could have been easily avoided. One day, Tamara, you will rule this group. You are the eldest of our children. Why did you allow your herd to wander to such a dangerous location?" Tamara bowed her head in shame and started to apologize. But to her surprise, before she could apologize, the other 4 young elephants stepped forward in unison. Together, they explained the events that had took place at the watering hole and the events that led up to the trap. They explained about the tiger and how Tamara had saved them from the tiger. And then they told about how they had run from the tiger, and Tamara had tried to turn them around, but they ignored her, and how they had treated her poorly because of her size. And as they finished their story, each one turned and bowed their heads slightly and apologized to Tamara as a sign of respect. Tamara didn't say a word. She was stunned. The meeting was ended shortly thereafter, and each of the young elephants was dismissed to their mother, who likely, hopefully, dished out a deserving punishment for their behavior. Hattie wandered over to Tamara and softly nuzzled her head, and she whispered, "I am so proud of you. You showed today courage, intelligence, instinct. You showed that you are destined to rule this herd one day. I love you so much." The end. They lived happily ever after, and, eventually Tamara took over, and all the other elephants were started being nice to her, and they were friends, and they got along, and they still threw mud at each other, but now it was in good fun, and it wasn't, mean anymore. It was great. Happy life. Woohoo! I hope that you guys enjoyed my story tonight. I will be live again on Monday. Ooh, Duda1413. Hi, Duda. You just missed out on my story. I'm really sorry. I start my stories at 7 on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You'll be able to watch the replay of the story, though. And if you tune in at 7 next time, hit the follow button so that you can see all those. I tell a bedtime story 3 nights a week, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So, I'm really sorry that you missed out on tonight's, unless you were here for a while, and then you got to hear it, in which case I hope you enjoyed it. But, since the story's over, I'm actually going to get signing off now. I will be live Monday with another story, and then Wednesday, I think I'm going to do another story about an animal, and I'm going to have a special guest with me. Thank you. I appreciate that, C.H. Hackett. Yeah, I think I'll have a special guest with me for Wednesday's story. Do you guys want a hint? Or do you want it to be a surprise? Thank you, Breedub. You want a hint? So my guest is going to be a part of my story. There's your hint. That's the only hint you're getting. I've decided I don't want to give you too much of a hint because I want it to be a surprise. So. I know, it's not a nice hint. Okay. Rate my song. No, I can't hear your song. Sorry. But you're welcome to come to Storytime next Monday and Wednesday. Like I said, I'm going to have a special guest Wednesday. If you like short stories, they're always fun. So yeah, hint. What can I give for a hint? I don't know what to give for a hint that won't give it away. Here's my hint. It's an animal that can be quite long but doesn't have any height. Ah, an animal that can be quite long but doesn't have any height, and an animal that can use a fork. So anyhow, there's your hint. That'll be my special guest on Wednesday. If you haven't followed already, then yeah, I think someone figured it out. Give me a follow and tune in Monday for story time. I don't know what it's going to be about yet. It might be about animals again. I'm really enjoying the animal stories. I get to bring to light some animals around that are pretty neat animals and a lot of people don't know about them. And then, like I said, Wednesday I'll have a special guest. It should be fun. Hopefully my guest is cooperative. Thank you again. Everyone have a wonderful night. Enjoy your weekends. Stay warm. And I'll talk to you later.